history is waiting for this team. The award-winning Cool FM Sports welcomes you to this broadcast from Flowing Wells High School for the regular season finale, and a big hit, and that will be going foul out of play by Nate Whitworth, the leadoff hitter for Buena. Runs the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jeff Davenport and John Berger hanging out with you here. We are literally right on the edge of the field, which is absolutely crazy. I'm going to have John get an umbrella to protect the phone because I know it will overheat in this. Nate waits and ends up getting a fly out to center field. 1 down here in the top of the first. The last time these two teams met, 48 hours ago, Buena won in a mercy rule, 11-0 in 5. But here we are now as number 21, Austin Cushman, comes to the plate for Buena. And he will be a hit by a pitch. That breaking pitch did not break at all. Got Austin in the upper left shoulder, and he will take the base. So with 1 out, there's 1 on for Buena here at Flowing Wells. The Colts currently sit at 19-6, 7-1 in conference.
Yeah.
On the verge of Buena history. We were looking back to see the last time that a team ended up getting that many wins in a season, and that was 2012 was the last time that Buena had 19 wins. We could not find 20 anywhere else over the course of the recent history of Buena High School. So they are literally on the verge of history. Thank you to all of our sponsors who make this coverage possible. You can see them all in the post description and see them flashed up on the screen. Thanks to Dan the man being back in the studio helping us out with today's broadcast. We are literally on the edge of the field, so like if there's a pop fly near us, we're gonna have to bail. We have to pick this crap up and get out of the way. We're gonna have to move our gear and move it quick. But in the meantime, Bryson Haymore at the plate. Had a handful of RBIs, and the last time we saw him, Cushman goes for second base and slides in safe underneath the tag. So a runner in scoring position with 1 down here in the top of the first for Buena. As the dust cloud will be blowing toward us, that Cushman caused there at second base slowly makes its way, the mist slowly makes its way towards us. And they're going to come have a talk with the umpire, it appears, over on the second base umpire, just double checking to see what that call was or if the call was actually correct. So they're going to have a talk about that. And of course, during this timeout, we'll take a timeout to say thank you so much to our sponsors. You can see them flashed all across the screen as Dan the man is bringing you those graphics. Buena on the cusp of a 20-win season. Thank you guys for joining us. Jeff Davenport, John Berger, making the trip up here to Flowing Wells on the north side of Tucson. That's a big shot going toward left field and foul.
Hey, somebody with a helmet. Oh, he's got it.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bryson. Again, there was a looseness to this team that we didn't see 48 hours ago, and we're not seeing now. Like a looseness and chatter and laughing and poking fun. You're not seeing that from this team right now. So in the meantime, it's not hurting them. They got a runner on second.
They're locked in, ready for playoffs.
That's a short 2-hopper to the third baseman, not able to get it. Shortstop ends up backing him up. So an infield hit for Bryson Haymore puts 2 on with 1 down here in the top of the first. And we'll bring up downtown Brandon Brown, number 13, to the plate for the Colts. So the interesting part about this field, the way it's set up, is that the sun will be in our faces. You know, they have lights here. I don't know why they had the early start time of 4 o'clock like they do at Buena, because Buena does not have any lights at their stadium, so it would make sense. Oh, this camera keeps moving a little bit, kind of drifts.
It's this tripod.
So pitcher checking back on Austin. Makes the pitch. A smack right at first base, and a quick double play will end the inning just like that. A sharp shot to first base, and a great job by the Flowing Wells first baseman to have a heads-up play there. And Buena will leave 2 on, not get any across the plate. It is a 0-0 ball game as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Thank you so much to our sponsors. You can see them in the post description and across your screen, like SSVEC, Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, serving our community, and the MORSE Automotive Group, Sierra Vista, and all of Cochise County is backed by MORSE. We're literally standing just feet away from the dugout. We are technically in the field of play. Thank you to the umpires who let us be a part of the field experience here, so we don't have to be behind a fence trying to show you this game. We don't have a tripod that's tall enough to reach over this fence. It is a very tall fence all the way around. It's not like we can sneak above it like we do over at Buena.
I love it. The referees or the umpires are, letting us hang out here, and hopefully, they allow us to hang out for the entire game.
Well, it's Cole Isaacson on the mound, so the left-hander will be throwing today in this regular season finale for Buena High School, their final game of the regular season. Tough way to end the first with a double play like that on a sharp shot to the first baseman, but again, kudos to the first baseman at Flowing Wells to get that ball caught and then have the awareness to run it back over to first base and get the out. Make sure you follow us on our YouTube channel at Cool FM. Make sure you check out the Cool FM sports page where this is emanating from. Thank you so much, Coach. Coach Tommy walking over with the lineup of Flowing Wells.
Coach Tommy is always good to us. He's always giving us information. Gave us an opportunity to hang out with the kids after the game tonight, but unfortunately we're running out. But yeah, that would have been great to sit down with the kids and have dinner and just chat them up. And
now they deserve the celebration all their own. And should they end up winning this game today, the first 20-win season that Buena has had in at least 3 decades, if not more.
It's so exciting. It's so exciting.
On the cusp of history, doing something that they're going to win the division no matter what. So no matter the outcome of today's game, you are looking at the team wearing the blue pinstripes. They are the 5A Southern champs and will host a home playoff game in just a matter of a week or so once all the other teams end up finishing their seasons and the brackets are set. Buena will have a home playoff game, at least one, if not more, and we look forward to covering those here on the award-winning Cool FM Sports. Again, Jeff Davenport, John Berger with you here at Flowing Wells High School in Tucson, Arizona, off of Prince Road. About a mile off of Prince is where you'll find Flowing Wells, if you're familiar with the I-10 corridor. It's on the northwest side of Tucson. John was able to figure out exactly where to park.
Yeah, that kind of got lucky. Go in the back door, and man, it just set us right next to that fence. It was fantastic.
So, Flowing Wells, number 32. I don't know who number 32 is, according to Max Prep, so it's a good thing that Tommy dropped off this. Looks like last name is Padilla at the bat for Flowing Wells. Cole making the pitch, and that goes right to Brandon Brown at third. Roped over to first base for the first out. 2 pitches, 1 out. Great job on the hot corner there by Brandon Brown. Tosses it back to Cole. And we will reset for the next batter. Looks like Vanderis is the batter for Flowing Wells. Flowing Wells wearing their white jerseys with the black shoulders.
Everything should level out a little bit more, but yeah, that's a.
And that is popped up in the air, straight up in the air. It looks like Cole will take it, and he's got it. 2 down, just like that.
Yeah, I tried to keep it just under that.
Rios Arvayo next up to the bat for Flowing Wells here in the bottom of the first, a 0-0 game.
Okay. Let's see what this looks like then.
Pitch, called strike. Nice fastball by Cole Isaacson, senior on the mound for Buena. One of the amazing parts of this team, that senior crew, that these kids have been playing together for years. Big swing and a miss on the breaking ball. My goodness, that was filthy. 0-2 the count with 2 down, nobody on for Flowing Wells. From the stretch, the pitch. No, calling it low and away. Gorgeous fastball, though. It was in the neighborhood.
He's on the edge of the yellow,
So, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he will not pull the trigger, but the umpire will. A strikeout brought to you by SSVEC, Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, serving our community, as Buena gets out 1, 2, 3, and we'll head to the dugout as we go on to the top of the second inning. A lot of high fives here in front of the dugout, and literally we are on the field, on the fringe of the field for this game. Very nice of the umpiring crew to allow us to be here on this side of the fence. Again, number 27, Valencia, on the mound for Flowing Wells. The Caballeros, a tough season for them, finishing 8-17-1. Coming into this game, I should say, 8-17-1, where Buena comes into this game at 19-6. And they're 7-1 in conference, and they are the 5A Southern champs. No matter the outcome of this game, they are the winners of that 5A Southern. A huge victory for our Buena Fighting Colts. And still having some issues, I guess, with the audio, so I apologize for that. We're going to work on the audio here for just a quick second. What happens when you use that iPhone? I told you. That's the interesting part. You just never know. You never know what's going to happen when you use that iPhone. Trying to plug in the DJI. The view might be great, but the sound's going to be questionable. So nonetheless, our pitcher, Cole Isaacson, today at the plate. Valencia from the stretch. Interesting how he pitches from the stretch as well. Nobody on. The leadoff hitter, Cole Isaacson, watches that one go low and inside for ball 1. 88 degrees at time of first pitch. And it seems like it's going to stay that way for quite a while. That sun is just beaten down into the dugout of Buena. And that is popped up over to the shortstop, calling it in shallow left field. He makes the catch. And there is one down here in the top of the second. So that will bring up number 5 for Buena, Alex Jackson. A junior getting some work in today after senior day when it was all seniors starting, and they had a lot of pitchers coming in at the very end just to be able to put together their last little bit. That's a slow roller back to the pitcher, thrown over to first base. Quick 2 outs. So swinging on that pitch ended up being a very slow roller, and that will bring up our angel from the outfield, Angel Olivares, at the plate with 2 down, nobody on.
Yeah. Let's try this. We'll put this mic up and we'll take this one out. It could be the mic. So
Well, we'll try that and see what happens. Again, just talking to a mic that's sitting right in front of me instead of attached to me. As Angel watches the first pitch, low and away, ball one.
Hear the difference when you start speaking about the change.
2 down, nobody on. Here for Buena in the top of the second inning. A little bit of respite with a cloud coming. The sun getting a little bit of cloud cover, cloud coming in the way of the sun and us, but it won't last long. That cloud, these are very thin clouds here in Tucson today, and they are few and far between. And that sun is baking right into the dugout on the third base side of Buena High School. From the stretch, the pitch, watches that one go low, and that'll be 3-0 for Angel. The question is, will he have free rein to be able to go ahead and swing away at 3-0? We'll find out as the pitch comes from Valencia. And that is a called strike, so
Just go right through the phone. Try that.
So no chance there to make that play or to make that pitch a hit. Boy, he waited on that one, but popped it straight up in the air. It's going to be a foot race to see who gets there first. The center fielder calls everybody off and then makes the catch. And that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3. We head to the bottom of the second. It is a 0-0 ball game. Imagine that, having issues with the sound with the... When I told you.
Never would have happened. Never.
I told you. So we're going to go straight through the iPhone and see if that works any better. You'll have a lot of different sounds coming through instead of any of the other types of sounds that you could have heard through the DJIs. So now going straight through the iPhone as we take a look around the field. Thank you to all of our sponsors who make this coverage possible. You can see them. That Dan the Man is flashing up on the screen, like Sherry Ethel from the Sherry Ethel team at Long Realty. You're looking to buy or sell your home or land. My goodness, you need to make your first call to your real estate expert, Sherry Ethel at Long Realty. You can see her phone number in the post description, or you can send her a message on any of her social media platforms, and she will get you that information. So, 0-0 game here, coming to the bottom of the second inning. It was a 1-2-3 first inning. Now it comes down to, this might be more of a defensive battle, a pitcher's duel instead of a hitter's battle. We know that Buena can get a lot of hits quickly, and they can get on base really, really fast and put a lot of runs across the plate in an extremely quick manner, as we've seen them do all season long. But it is, I want to say number 27, the pitcher, Valencia, coming to the bat first here to lead off this bottom of the second. The pitch is high, lefty versus lefty. From the stretch, again, pitching from the stretch. Looks like Brandon's playing in on third. Not sure why. I mean, he's playing really, really close. That came as an advantage when he got that throw out in the bottom of the first. But left-handed hitter, you never know. Where he's actually playing pretty far off the bag, like this hitter's going to pull, swings and misses. 2 balls, 1 strike. The folks here who run the scoreboard doing a great job keeping up with every single pitch here at Flowing Wells High School in Tucson, Arizona. That pitch is high. 3 balls, 1 strike. So hitter's pitch coming to number 27, Valencia, the 4-slot hitter, but the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the second. Just keeping it close since we're using the mic. That's a foul ball. Yeah, nobody there. Okay. I mean, there's a almost like a softball field right next to us, or some other sort of baseball field on the backside of us. But nobody's on that field, luckily, or else they would have gotten, the right fielder might have gotten hit in the face by that Valencia foul ball. Nonetheless, that runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Cole Isaacson. And that is low and away. The leadoff hitter is aboard for Flowing Wells here in the bottom of the second. And that will bring up Gonzalez, number 20. So Gonzalez will come to the plate. No out, 1 on. Again, Brandon is playing super close at third. But we know on that hot corner, he is able to keep that glove extremely active. They throw back over to first base, almost a high throw. And again, when you're a left-handed pitcher making a pickoff move to first, you can make it very deceptive. So the sun coming back out, looks like we will have that in our faces for the next while. And now we got a chance coming from the far side of the field. Flowing Wells definitely getting into it. A light breeze. Showing bunt. They throw back down to first. Ball almost gets away. So Tommy calling time, and he will head out to the pitcher's mound to have a chat. Just try to regroup his pitcher and the rest of the infield here in the bottom of the second inning. They're not even at the bottom of the hour yet. We're at the bottom of the second. There is a runner on for Flowing Wells. And it is going to be warm here the rest of the time, as I don't know if any more clouds will be in our way. So I'll do my best to keep the umbrella over the phone to keep it from overheating. Now the home plate umpire coming out to have a chat, let him know, hey. And they break from the mound. Head coach Tommy Fernandez ends up coming back across the third baseline. Again, as Gonzalez at the plate with one on, nobody out. Thank you to all the sponsors who make this coverage possible. You can see them in the post description. And all across the screen in this game of the week here on Cool FM, as we're hoping for Buena to get that 20th win of the regular season, which would be just insane. There's a called strike at the knees.
Yeah,
Cole able to get a call there. Go ahead, John.
The likely record, that's so incredible.
They throw back over to first, safe. The award-winning Cool FM Sports live at Flowing Wells, showing bunt again and pulling back, getting a called strike 2, evening the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 0-0 game, but a runner on for Flowing Wells with no outs. And Gonzalez watches that one go outside, runs the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes, second straight batter to get a full count. Cole gets the call from the catcher, makes the pitch, and that is a bunt that will go foul. So still 3-2.
It's better, but it's got that. We don't have a windscreen for that.
Oh, so that's an out. I guess if you bunt with 2 strikes and it goes foul, you're out. Well, okay, so 1 down. That brings up Kisner for Flowing Wells. 1 out, 1 on. Big swing, big cut, but foul to the backstop. There's a lot of room behind the catcher, so if there's a pop fly that's behind home plate, there is a ton of room to make a play. That ball goes in the dirt, evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down.
This might be the way to do it, actually.
From the stretch, Cole, runner goes, swing and a miss. They throw down to second base, not in time, as the ball rolls into center field anyway. So a stolen base for Flowing Wells with 1 out, a runner in scoring position for the Caballeros. And if you're watching us Rooting for Flowing Wells, my goodness. Let us know in the live chat.
And the mic is back.
Yeah, we'll see if it works this time. Hopefully it will. We'll find out shortly. See if it ends up working. Hopefully so. Fingers crossed. You never know with the iPhone. That's why I have my other phone that I use for everything else, unless we're recording. He holds off on that low pitch. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, runner on second, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. After a 1-2-3 bottom of the first, Cole ended up walking the first batter. The second batter bunted with 2 strikes that went foul, just like a foul ball there to the backstop, and he was out. So this is the third batter of the inning, Kistner, with 1 down. Looking at my notes in front of me. Buena with 19 wins. And thankfully, we've been able to broadcast several of those during the second half of their season. That is a call. Strike 3 on the inside part of the plate. Beautiful pitch by Cole Isaacson. They don't throw around the horn. They just throw it back to Cole, knowing the runner is on second. And that will bring up number 2. Kehoe at the plate for Flowing Wells. Again, the Caballeros, a tough season, 8-17-1. Called strike high. He turned away as if it was coming at him, but that was a fastball. Maybe it just had a little bit of a tail on it to come back across the plate. So 2 down here in the bottom of the second. Oh, that pitch, maybe a little outside.
Oh, yeah.
Light breeze, very light breeze. You can kind of see the dust being kicked up from the runner on second. You can see the dust being kicked up in the glove of the catcher when that ball gets there. 2 balls, 1 strike to Kehoe. From the stretch, Cole makes the pitch, and that's a called strike. Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Runner on second in the bottom of the second. 2s across the board. As they're shifting over the infielders, and that will be low and in. Runs the count full. The third batter to get a full count. Here in the bottom of the second. After making quick work in the bottom of the first, these more patient hitters here. That ball fouled and ended up hitting the batter while he was still in the box. So we reset. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Runner on second in the bottom of the second. Just past the bottom of the hour here. Flowing Wells High School in Tucson, Arizona. Jeff Davenport and John Berger hanging out with you here. Cole Isaacson from the stretch. Runner goes. And that is fouled off to the first base side. That will hit a car for sure. That is going to hit a vehicle over there. Glad we parked much further away. I was not taking any chances. Not gonna do it.
There's some perks to parking close, and then there's some definite detractors.
Big lead, and that's a shot to center field. They will wave the base runner home as the throw comes in, getting cut off, and they will get him out at home. A beautiful relay by Buena. Nails the runner at home, and that will end the second inning in a huge defensive effort by Buena. High fives all across for the defenders as they come in to hit the top of the third inning. Boy, I wasn't sure if getting the cutoff man on that play was the right call, but it was. The turn, the throw, the tag, and the call. Getting it all. And we head to the top of the third. Thank you to all of our sponsors who make this coverage possible. That Dan the man back in the studio is flashing up on the screens for you. All of our sports sponsors, we're grateful for each and every one of them. Thank you to sponsors like Right Way, Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. They know the right way to serve Cochise County, and they are doing it right now just for us. Thank you to SoCi at SoCi.com. When they see that challenge, they say, challenge accepted. It is time for Buena to accept the challenge to get some more base runners on. They had 2 on in the first inning, technically leaving 1 on because of a double play on a fly out, a line drive fly out to first base that ended up tagging out the runner on first. So it was a tough way to leave runners stranded, but there's always another inning. And here we come to the top of the third at Flowing Wells High School. I believe it's Aiden Barrett who will be leading off. Aiden is playing first base today. You can always tell Aiden Barrett because there are certain things in this world that are seen from space. One of them, the Great Wall of China. The other thing, Aiden Barrett's hot pink batting gloves, seen from space. So again, we're literally right next to the dugout here at Buena, and they will be cooking for a while because that sun will see no relief, possibly for another 30 minutes or so. So they will stay warm there in their dugout as the sun sets in the west and just slams down into this west-facing third base dugout here at Flowing Wells High School. But a light breeze from the stretch. Valenzuela throws like a sidearm splitter that ends up being called a strike. It appears Kai is warming up in the bullpen. It's funny how the bullpen is on the field here. It's going to be popped up and straight to the third baseman, who will look at it all the way and take it in the glove, and that is 1 out here in the top of the third. A lot of pop-outs for Buena so far in this game. Cortez coming up next for the Colts. Aaron Cortez. I called him Alex on the public address, but we know Aaron. He is the number 9 hitter for Buena, as great Nate will be at the plate next. That pitch, breaking pitch high. Wow, catcher making it hard for the pitcher, making him jump for that.
He's not a small guy either.
Yeah. And he's up on a mound, elevated. Yeah. He still had to jump to get that throw from the catcher. So, wind up the pitch. And that's a shot right at the second baseman, who digs it out of the dirt, throws over to first. Long stretch for the first baseman to keep that himself from getting off the bag. But that is 2 outs here, and we'll bring up the top of the order as Nate Whitworth comes to the plate for Buena. 88-degree day here in Tucson, Arizona. It is definitely warming up. Spring is here for sure. Nice breeze coming in. And that'll be a first pitch shot that gets past the shortstop into left field. So, a 2-out error on the shortstop for Flowing Wells puts Nate on first base. And we'll bring up Cushman. And the wind is blowing in. So it's blowing in from right field toward the third baseline is the way that the wind is blowing. They throw back over to first, safe. So Whitworth on first base, 2 outs. Austin Cushman at the bat. Leave us some love in the live chat. Rooting your Colts on. See a 2-out rally. Nate goes. They throw down to second base. Not in time, and it was past the bag anyway. Nate will hold at second as the cloud of dust. I believe I can see him through the cloud of dust that is slowly making its way toward us. So, runner in scoring position for Buena with 2 down. A 1-0 count to Austin Cushman at the plate. Jeff Davenport and John Berger hanging out with you literally on the field at Flowing Wells. This is absolutely crazy for the regular season finale of the Buena Colts season. Waiting on that breaking pitch, driving that one to deep left field. The left fielder going back and makes the catch at the warning track, and that will bring an end to the top of the third. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Buena leaves one on, gets none across. It is still 0-0. What an interesting change of pace from what we saw 48 hours ago, where Buena ended up opening a can during a couple of those innings, and mercy rule 11-0. And it appears that Kai will take over on the mound. So Kai Erlmeyer coming in relief of Cole Isaacson. So a little shifting going around on the field of who's on first. John.
Yeah, we're looking at some intelligent moves right here. You kind of wonder what he's getting in there for, if, trying to get in at the end of the season, if they know he's going to be a good pitcher at the end of the rotation here. Man, he's got some heat, though. Maybe it's just a matter of,
Cole stays in the game. He'll head out to right field. So good to see Kai up on the mound. I think one of the first games that we called, or that I called, Kai was on the mound. And he had a great game that game. So hopefully he'll be able to get some 1, 2, 3 innings and Buena will be able to get some runs as we are in the bottom of the third.
I'd like to thank Kevin Haymore for his comments. Good dude.
Oh, thanks so much. Always love seeing all the comments, all the love in the live chat. Everything you can do to root on our Buena Colts to their 20th win is what they're looking for, which is unprecedented in the history of Buena High School. They had 19 wins in 2012, the year of the Mayan calendar coming to an end, the world coming to an end, but nonetheless, we're still here in 2025, and Buena has 19 wins, looking for their 20th. Great pitch by Kai as he's warming up here on the mound for Buena. Glad you're joining us here. Thank you so much to Dan the Man back in the studio, putting up all the different sports sponsors that you can see on the screen. You can see them all in the post description as well. We're grateful for each and every one of them, like ASCU, American Southwest Credit Union. Find better rates at ascu.org. Up next is number 17, which is Soto. Soto at the plate. Wow. Gets brushed back. 1-0. That was a fastball heater high and in. And Kai throws another fastball right down the pike, and that evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Low, 2-1. So now Brandon's playing off the bag where he normally would, and back. Not as close in as he was earlier. That ball's coming right at us. Very slow roller. John, do you have your glove on? Oh, just out of reach. The coach from Flowing Wells come over and snag that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. To the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the third, swinging and missing. They will make the throw down to first just for security's sake, and the tag force out at first. 1 down. Brings up a number 4, Santa Cruz. Sebastian Santa Cruz is his name, number 4. He is the 9-slot hitter for Flowing Wells, which is where we're broadcasting from today, the award-winning Cool FM Sports, live at Flowing Wells High School in Tucson, Arizona, on the northwest side. My wife, yes, and the answer is yes. My wife did give me a Costco list if there is time. So John and I will have to make the trip, depending on when this game ends, but it's flying by because a low-scoring game like this, a 0-0 game here in the bottom of the third. We're going to be halfway through this game in about an hour at this pace. Ooh. That goes inside. and gets a piece of that on 3-0. Swinging on 3-0. Makes it 3 balls, 1 strike. With 1 out here in the bottom of the third, the number 9 slot hitter for Flowing Wells. They'll be back to the top of the order for the next batter, and that is a called strike. Runs it full. The windup and the pitch, and hit by pitch on 3-2. And you can see and you can hear, I don't know if you can hear, the chatter coming from the Flowing Wells dugout. They just seem a lot more alive than the Buena side. So, with 1 out, there's 1 on. Tom Padilla at the plate for Flowing Wells, the top of the order. They are holding the runner at first, and check swing foul.
Still got a piece of it.
I mean, that's how fast that fastball was. He barely got his swing out, checked it, and it still went off his bat. So beautiful pitch by Kai, 0-1. Nice breaking ball, little high. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down, 1 on. Here in the bottom of the third for Flowing Wells. Jeff Davenport, John Berger, Dan the Man, bringing you this game. Throw back over to first. Nice quick move, quick motion, pickoff motion by Kai. But the runner made it back just in time. Kai digs into the mound. Sets. And that is a gorgeous breaking pitch right there. Kai with a 2-strike count to the leadoff hitter, Padilla. The sun comes back out at full blast. Had a minor respite there with a little bit of cloud. Runner goes, high pitch, and that goes into center field, and they will hold the runner at second. He slid in and was not looking up, and that ball went way over, thrown to Angel in center field. So a 2-2 count. With 1 down, Flowing Wells has a runner in scoring position, and literally the top of their order at the plate. The breeze feels nice on this 88-degree day in Tucson, Arizona. Boy, high pitch. Did not come off the mound clean on that throw. Even the outfield cheering Kai on. Full count. Buena just can't escape these full counts. The pitchers, both pitchers that have been on the mound today, Cole Isaacson and now Kai Erlmeyer. Fouled back to the backstop. Stays at 3-2 with 1 down, 1 on. There is a lot of room behind home plate. I mean, I would hate to hit a pop foul in this, like right behind home plate, because there's so much room. It is way back there. The catcher has a ton of room, but that's also a ton of room if the ball gets past you, unfortunately. So any wild pitches, you could almost get 2 bases, depending on which way that ball bounces behind the catcher.
It's the same way the side to the baseball to the third base. You know, this is a lot of grass, a lot of field.
Holds on and takes the walk. 2 on with 1 down for Flowing Wells here in the bottom of the third. That brings up their number 2 hitter, Vanderlasky. Comes to the plate with 2 on, the number 2 hitter in their lineup. Getting signs from Coach Tommy to the outfield. Showing bunt, pulls back, ball 1.
Angel, what you got?
So they think this one might get through. If it gets through to the outfield, they're keeping their outfield alert. Making those calls from the dugout. Again, they're baking in this dugout here. And it is a bunt. They're looking for the force at third, can't find it. They throw over to first base. A wild throw over to first. Goes into right field. One run will score. The first run of the game happens in the bottom of the third. It is Flowing Wells up 1-0 on the throwing error by the Buena defense. And Flowing Wells has runners at the corners with only one out. A big mistake by Buena on that play, defensively breaking down. They were worried about, not worried about, they were concerned about the outfield being in position, but the infield was not, and they weren't ready for that bunt. So runners on the corners, one down here in the bottom of the third. It is 1-0, Flowing Wells.
All right, watch the early break. One, take the out.
Brings up number 3, Arvayo. They're going to catch him in a rundown, but is the runner going to go home? He is, and he is safe at home. The runner advances to second. The pickle in between first and second allows the second run to score for Flowing Wells here in the bottom of the third. Two mental errors on the, well, one physical error and one mental error on defense for Buena ends up causing 2 runs to get across the plate for Flowing Wells. That pitch called a strike. Boy, the umpire waited there for an extra second. I thought, is he going to call that a ball? But just enough to be in the strike zone. Kai makes the throw, and that is pinged off to the first base side. So Kai ahead, 0-2. This is a place where he needs to be. They got to get an out here. This is a must out, a must get out situation. And again, you're dealing with the top of the order for Flowing Wells. Called strike, and that is strike 3. 2 down. That strikeout brought to you by SSVEC, Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, serving our community. 2 down, runner on second. As the pitcher, Valencia, comes to the plate. The southpaw at the bat. It's interesting, he's a right-handed pitcher, but a left-handed hitter. Fouls that right into the Buena dugout off the fence in front of them. That could be coming at us, John. We're literally on the field. This is not safe. We need to be wearing hard hats out here. I mean, my umbrella is not gonna hold.
This umbrella's made of titanium.
Oh, it is? Okay,
yeah.
that's why my arm is so buff. 0-1 pitch. That goes high, evens the count. Runner on second base. Getting 2 runs across the plate here in the bottom of the third. Flowing Wells. Runs on a throwing error and a mental mistake. It was a great job. It was executed perfectly to get the guy in a pickle. And then the runner on third just watched it enough and knew that there was enough of a distraction. So 2-0 Flowing Wells here in the bottom of the third. The pitch, that's a called strike. Kai ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 down, runner on second. And that is a sharp shot that goes off of Kai. And that run scores for Flowing Wells. A 2-out RBI single ends up scoring the 3rd run of this inning for Flowing Wells. Just when you thought they were going to get out of this inning, nearly unscathed, Gonzalez comes to the bat. He's the number 5 hitter. with 2 down. From the stretch. That pitch is going to be a called strike. Great throw by Kai. I believe that hit ended up going off of Kai's glove, and then the second baseman who was going for the ball ended up getting diverted, and that's how it slipped into center field. It's going to be low, evens count, 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Flowing Wells showing some signs of life that they were not showing 48 hours ago in Sierra Vista. Throw back over to first, not in time. Brandon playing in on third base. It's a high pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike. Breeze picking up slightly. From right field, pushing toward third base. The third base line. And beautiful pitch. Evens the count. Deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. 1 on. And you hear a lot of chatter coming across the field from the Flowing Wells dugout. Runner will go on a check swing. If they're going to say that's a put out, that is a strikeout. So Flowing Wells will leave 1 on, but not before 3 come across the plate. And we'll head to the top of the 4th. And Coach Tommy is not messing around. He's having the entire team come out for a team meeting just past third base. You can see that right in front of us here live at Flowing Wells High School on the northwest side of Tucson, Arizona. This is where Buena needs to show some heart. We've seen them come back in that game against Desert View where it was absolutely impossible, but they made it probable, and they came within 2. This is nowhere near that dire of a situation, and you're playing against a team that you know is weaker than you, and so now it's going to be time for Buena to get those bats activated. As number 27 still out on the mound for Flowing Wells, Valencia will stay on the mound. Again, Buena sitting at 19-6. The last time they had 19 wins in a season was 2012. 3.5 years away from the very first native game nights in 2012.
I mean, you consider this a successful season. I think you have to.
Oh, well, they are the champs. They're the 5A Southern champs. No matter what happens, they're the champions of the 5A Southern. The question comes down to how bad do they want to get this win here today? Where's their focus? Again, they've had 1 loss in a month. You don't want to go into the playoffs getting a second loss. You don't want to have that second loss there. You want that 11-game win streak that they had to continue. That was broken by Desert View. And as I said, if you start another 11-game win streak, you will be the state champs. And we know this team is capable of that, as Bryson Haymore takes a strike, 0-1. He's the leadoff hitter here in the top of the 4th. And that is a shot, hot shot, past the third baseman, into left field. It gets past the left fielder. And Bryson will stop at second. So a single that turns into a double because of the error by the left fielder, letting the ball get by him, puts the leadoff hitter in scoring position for Buena. And who comes up next? The guy who can drive it all the way to the interstate from here, downtown Brandon Brown. It is 360 to left, 375 to center, 350 to right. And we've seen Brandon hit it 380, 385. We know the power is there. And that's a shot into left field as well. Then it gets by the left fielder. 1 run will score for Buena. Brandon will round second base. It looks like he will stop at second as that left fielder is having a heck of a time out there. I'm not sure if there's something in the ground. It hits a sprinkler, but it bounced up and bounced over the head of the left fielder. So back-to-back doubles for Buena, scores one. And Brandon is on second base with no outs here in the top of the fourth. It is 3-1 Caballeros.
Did he hit a molehill or something like that? It like 2 times in a row, it's hit that one spot in the grass where it just shoots directly up.
It is really interesting to see. And Tommy calls time. Coach Fernandez calls time. And he will have a chat, maybe bring in a pinch runner. I'm not sure exactly what he's going to do here. Go grab a quick drink of water.
Yeah. It's always interesting to see how big baseball players are these days. You know, what they're the size of football players in a lot of cases. You know, if they don't already play, some of these kids are 6'3", 200 pounds. I mean, big kids.
Well, Hunter Herbert, our corn-fed colossus.
For sure, 6'4".
Yeah. So no outs. Runner on second for Buena. And Cole at the plate showing bunt and lays it down along the third baseline foul. So Cole Isaacson, the starting pitcher today, didn't give up any runs. And unfortunately, because of some mental errors and throwing errors that Buena had in the third, led to 3 runs in the bottom of the third for Flowing Wells. But Buena put one across just a second ago. They've got another in scoring position here. And that is a clean bunt. Back to the pitcher. Throws over to first for the force out, but advances Brandon to third. So, 1 out. Brandon 90 feet away from coming within 1. The tying run comes to the plate in the form of Kai Erlmeyer, the relief pitcher thus far for Buena. Gives a fist bump to the starting pitcher, who advances on a sacrifice bunt, gets Brandon to third. Tying run at the plate for Buena here in the top of the fourth. 1 down. Thank you for joining us. The award-winning Cool FM Sports. Jeff Davenport, John Berger, Dan the Man back in the studio. Breaking pitch. And again, this is not a place where you want that ball to get behind you as a catcher. There is so much room behind you. It is a given that even I could score from third in my 48-and-a-half-year-old body if that ball gets by the catcher. The pitch, and like I said, we're literally on the field, so that's why you got players walking in front of us, walking behind us, as they've been warming up in the bullpen down the way. So 2-0 count to Kai. He might just be waiting for a strike to come across the plate. And that is low. 3-0.
Brandon's putting some pressure on that pitcher. You can see him.
Yeah.
He's watching out of the corner of his eye, and it's just like Brandon is.
Well, they're not holding him on third. I mean, the third base is playing normally. It looks like the second baseman is playing a little in. The pitch. And that's going to be a called strike. So 3-1, 1 down. Runner on third for Buena, and they're down by 2. Not even holding Brandon on third. Brandon starts running, and that is outside. Runners will be on the corners with 1 down for Buena here in the top of the fourth. So the tying run is on first base. The go-ahead run is in the form of our angel from the outfield, Angel Olivares, coming to the plate for Buena. I believe they're going to bring in Skylar Leone to pinch run for Kai, who is our pitcher. So Skylar comes in, and you know how fast he is on the base paths. He's a lightning bolt.
He should be playing wide receiver. I hope he turns out for football next year. I mean, kid that fast. That'd be a lot of fun.
Now, either way, he's got some wheels, and hopefully he'll be able to use them here in this case.
Buena bats. Buena. Everybody's coming alive in the
Yeah, getting some vocal exercises going on in the Buena dugouts as Angel watches that first pitch, called strike. Oh, a bunt, and he stayed around. That's 0-2. Interesting call. Why would you call a bunt with one out and the go-ahead run on first? I have to say that quietly because Coach Tommy's right in front of me.
Well, he knows what he's doing.
Waited on that, and that gets knocked down by the third baseman. No, the throw not in time to first. Bases are loaded with one down here in the top of the fourth for the Colts. Good job by Brandon to hold his ground there at third. Boy, it would have been really tempting to take off, but that third baseman playing that hot corner, that ball came at him hot.
Alex Barrett, whose family is saying hi.
Well, this is Aiden Barrett at the plate. Those hot pink batting gloves. Now the first baseman comes over to try to... It's the infield playing in, and that ball gets caught by the shortstop, snagging it out of the air. A line drive shot that if the shortstop was playing just a little further in, would have gone over his head, but somehow he was in exactly the right spot to get that ball and get that huge second out of this inning. The tying run for Buena is on second as Aaron Cortez comes to the plate for the Colts. He waits on that breaking pitch. That's fouled toward us. My goodness, Skyler was already on third base by the time. That's how fast he is. Now he has to go all the way back to second. He was already on third before that ball even came out of the...
He's so fast, I think he could steal home from second.
And that is low and away. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, 2 outs. Bases loaded for the Colts. They need to take advantage of this situation. They left 2 on in the top of the first. Haven't seen this many base runners on in 3 innings. Not sure if they'll get the chance again. Got to make hay while the sun's shining. And that ball does not get past the catcher. Boy, if it did. There's so much room behind that catcher.
Yep.
So 2 balls, 1 strike to Cortez. From the stretch, Valencia. That goes in the dirt. 3 balls, 1 strike. A walk will put the tying run on third. So Cortez waiting for his pitch. The wind picking up again.
He could get it all right here.
But again, the wind blowing in from the outfield. And that is, oh my gosh, that breaking pitch was going at like 40 miles an hour. That was like the slowest breaking pitch ever. Runs the count full. 2 down, bases loaded. Takes a swing. That goes through the third baseman's legs, off of his glove. They will wave 2 home, and the game is tied at 3. His glove, and Buena has runners on the corners with 2 outs in the top of the order at the plate.
Ooh, the NFL draft just started. You're getting updates. It's telling us.
Is that what's going on?
Yeah. Tennessee Titans on the clock. It's going to be Cam Ward, but...
So Great Nate at the plate. Watches that pitch, a called strike. That breaking ball, very little velocity on it at all. It's like a sidearm breaking ball.
You wonder how much, how many pitches, good pitches you get out of a pitcher sometimes, you know? How fast does it get to the point where you're just getting tired?
So that pitch goes across for strike 2. On the outside corner, 2 down, 2 on. Tie game, 3-all here in the top of the 4th. Buena's bats finally coming to life. Can it continue with a 2-strike count? That goes in the dirt. 1-2. Valencia still ahead in the count.
Nobody covering third.
And that is a hit by pitch. There was no break on that breaking ball. The bases are loaded again with 2 down as Austin Cushman comes to the plate. The superstar shortstop for Buena in the batter's box with the bases jacked in a 3-3 game.
Now, he's not the same power hitter as Brandon, but I think he has as many home runs with the 2 inside the park home runs. We've seen him racing around. I mean, he's an absolute blazing fast runner. So, you know, any kind of contact, he's going to make it to second base.
Well, he's a fantastic hitter, great fielder, definitely a 5-tool athlete.
Oh, yeah, pitcher
for the
too.
Colts.
Excellent.
And so they're gathering at the mound. As they do that, Dan the Man will flash up a sponsor or two. You can see them all in the post description. Thank you to all of our sports sponsors that make this coverage possible. Thank you to Dan the Man back in the studio for helping to be a part of our team here. And if you would like to be part of the Cool FM live sports team, you can be an advertiser with us as well. By all means, get in touch with Todd Ryan, the owner of this fantastic Disruptor Facebook platform, and he will get you all the information you need. So 2 down, Cushman at the plate, bases loaded.
Thanks, buddy.
The sun blasting out, low and away. Cushman has a great eye at the plate as Kai warms up next to us, getting ready to go back out to the mound, getting that arm loose. Wow, that fastball had a little bit of zing on it. Called strike. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 down. In a tie game, 3-all. Buena was down 3-0 here at the start of this inning. And boy, Austin was really wanting to tear into that ball, but it dropped out of the zone. He was able to hold off. 2 balls, 1 strike. That goes low and away. 3-1, hitter's pitch. Coming to Cushman. A walk scores the go-ahead run here in the top of the 4th. Pitch. That goes low. Buena leads 4-3. Pushing 4 across in the 4th. And that will bring up number 24. Bryson Haymore with the bases loaded. Is this the inning where the Buena bats really come to life? Boy, the talk that Coach Tommy Fernandez had with them before they ended up coming out of the dugout to start swinging did the trick. Low, ball 1. Again, bases loaded. 2 outs. So Kai's arm is loose. That's coming hot into the dugout, bouncing in front of the fence, bouncing off the fence in front of the dugout. Coach Tommy will hang on to that ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bryson Haymore, one of those superstar seniors on this team. And he takes a long drive to deep left center field. The outfielders are looking up. Oh. It is a grand slam for Bryson Haymore.
Oh, my goodness. What a shot.
An insane inning for the Colts. A 2-out grand slam makes it 8-3. The Colts started this inning down 3-0. It is now 8-3 on that massive bomb by Bryson Haymore.
I didn't know he had that kind of power. That was to center field.
Left center, probably about 370 feet.
Yeah.
And that was insane. Everything gets reset here with 2 outs as Brandon Brown comes to the plate. Buena leading 8-3. The bats have come alive, and whatever Coach Tommy said to these kids, they are responding in kind. These young student athletes, as Brandon watches strike one go across the plate.
I heard what he said, and he said no dinner unless you start hitting grand slams.
Well, guess what? They're getting dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Buena on their way to their 20th win. That's called strike 2. So, no balls, 2 strikes. Again, just an interesting motion by the pitcher, Valencia, with very little velocity. It's a huge differentiation between his breaking ball and his fastball.
Yeah.
His fastball might hit in the 60s, but the breaking pitches are in the 40s. I mean, and that's right there. And Brandon drives that one to deep left center field. The center fielder going back and makes the catch on the run against the fence. And that will bring an end to the top of the 4th. But not before Buena puts across 8, including a grand slam by the one and only Bryson Haymore. Had a handful of RBIs 48 hours ago and gets 4 himself. That long bomb gives Buena the 8-3 lead as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Thank you to all the sponsors that make this coverage possible. Hey, if you would like to be a sports sponsor and be a part of the fun for the playoffs, yes, playoffs. Buena's going to the playoffs. No matter what happens with the outcome of this game, they will be the 5A Southern champs and will host a home playoff game. If you or your business would like to advertise on the award-winning Cool FM Sports, please send a DM to Todd Ryan and let him know that your business wants to be involved in making sure that you are helping this team get seen not just around Sierra Vista, not just around Cochise County, not just around Arizona, but literally all around the world because of Cool FM Live Facebook. Here, you can be a part of our advertising family. We would love for you to do that. Learn more to be one of these advertisers that's being shown up on the screen that Dan the Man's been flashing up on the Tron, the little Chiron area during this game. You can be a part of it. And thank you to all those sponsors who make this coverage possible. You see them all on the screen throughout this game, flashing up in front of you.
That grand slam is, we got the highlights, we got the replay. Man, Dan is doing a great job.
Of course he is.
I think he's having a good time. Yeah, way to go, Bryson.
Yeah, huge.
Go, Alex from Mama from Indiana. Let's go, Alex. Papa from Indiana. So, I mean, Barrett's have family out of town. It's very cool to see how far we reach, you know. I don't know if anybody's watching from another country. That'd be great. I mean, other than, like, California.
But Kisner comes to the plate for Flowing Wells. They're down 8-3 here in the bottom of the 4th. As the sun continues to go lower. That ball bouncing to the left of us.
Terrible effort.
Coach Tommy Fernandez will go snag that, bring it back, get a snack. And that's a chopper to third. Bryson at third gets it, rifles over to first base, 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th.
He knows how to conserve energy. He knew that next one was going to come to him.
So Brandon got pushed to left field. Bryson is at third. I imagine that means Nate is catching. Bringing up number 2, Kihu. For Flowing Wells, the Caballeros Again, a tough year for them, 8-17-1, whereas the Colts are 1 win away from their 20th of the season. Long fly ball out there. I saw it bounce. I didn't hear a hit.
No,
didn't hear contact with a vehicle, but my goodness. That's where all the cars are parked over on that first base side. Low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Kyle Meyer was literally warming up next to us as that top half of the 4th wrapped. Foul to the backstop, evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. He had this, it was like a rubber ball, like probably had some weight to it, like, but it wasn't rubber. It was like a hard rubber that ends up hitting that wall, and it just kind of died in front of the wall. It hit the wall and then went to the ground, so it wasn't like a bouncy ball, so to speak. That'll run the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, those weighted balls are to help you stretch out your shoulder so you get
so
heavier, you don't throw quite as fast.
He was definitely ready. And that goes high, ball 4. So a 1-out walk gets a runner on for Flowing Wells. Gives them a little bit of life here in the bottom of the 4th.
We got someone from Alpine, Arizona watching Bryce.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen Daly.
Glad to have friends tuning in all across the country, all around the world, and of course, around our beautiful State 48, Arizona. Soto at the plate for Flowing Wells. If you're a Flowing Wells fan, hey, we welcome your comments as well.
Absolutely.
What a fastball. That had some heat and was just a skosh high. They were saying if he went or not, and that was a good job by, I think it's Nate behind the plate right now. Good job of him to ask the umpire to ask the second base umpire if he did swing. And that time he did. That fastball was insane. That was high heat.
Yeah.
Like the kind of high heat you go to when you go to High Heat Trivia Night every Friday at 6 p.m., the official kickoff of the weekend.
Oh, man.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down, 1 on here in the bottom of the 4th. Oof. Oh, my goodness. What a gorgeous pitch on the inside. Call the ball. 2-1. Buena leads by 5 here in the bottom of the 4th. A massive top of the 4th inning for the Buena. Bat swing and a miss. Strike 2. Just doing my best to keep the umbrella in place to block the sun.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Jeff. Man, your arm must be tired. I can't hold my arms in place.
Well, it is a titanium, as we talked about before. It's a titanium umbrella. That is a called strike 3 on the outside part of the plate at the knees. That strikeout by Kai Erlmeyer brought to you by the Ed Morse Automotive Group, Sierra Vista and Cochise County, backed by Morse. 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. And that will bring up their number 9 hitter, Santa Cruz. Yes, he's number 4, but he is the number 9 hitter in their lineup. Ball on the outside part of the plate, 1-0. So they are holding the runner on first, as you can see in the background. Kai gets him swinging, gets a piece of it. Does Santa Cruz. They'll throw the ball back to Kai. You okay on battery?
Yeah, 80%.
Goodness. Thanks again to Dan the Man back in the studio, keeping the Chiron rolling for you and all the updates, all the things going on, showing you all those cool replays. And thank you again to the umpires letting us, we're literally on the field. I mean, we are not behind a fence. We are not looking over a fence. We are literally just a stone's throw from third base.
They were very generous in letting us come out here. I went out there and I asked them, and they were like, yeah.
See, if I would have gone out there, they would have looked at me and said no. But John does, and John can get anything. That is a called strike. Evens the count. Deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 1 on.
Anything but a girlfriend. Can't find one.
Well, hey, ladies, he's single.
Yep. Let me know, ladies.
Throws it high. Not able to get around on that one as much as he wanted to. Now he's rubbing his hands against the pants there. He's trying to get rid of the sweat that's building up on the palm. From the stretch. Full count. 2 down. Throw back over to first. My goodness gracious. Beautiful pickoff move by Kai. The base runner safe back at first. You hear a helicopter in the background. Flying over the top of us. And that is a call. Strike 3. That strikeout brought to you by SSVEC will retire the side. Flowing Wells will leave 1 on. And Buena will come to the bat in the top of the 5th. Beautiful job by Kai Erlmeyer as he heads into the dugout. The rest of the team getting high fives as Kai goes straight into the dugout, which has got to be baking at this point, even with the breeze that's coming in. It is still 87 degrees according to the iWatch. I don't know. It still feels kind of warm as the sun is bouncing off my blue jeans and my black shoes.
Yeah, my shoes feel like they're on fire, too.
Yeah, John and I are going to smell really good in the car when we get back in. We might have to go home with the windows down. We might need to get a shower at Costco when I stop there because my wife gave me the honeydew list. We are almost at the bottom of the 5:30 hour. John, can you look and see what are the draft picks that were going on in the draft? And by all means, as Dan the Man shows those sports sponsors, thank you to all the sponsors that make this coverage possible. Number 20, new pitcher in for the Caballeros. Let me see if I can find his information. He is not on the Max Preps scoring, but oh, there he is, Gonzalez. It's Gonzalez coming in, and let's talk about. Go ahead, John.
Number 1, Cam Ward from Washington State.
Now that was not a surprise, right?
Nope, not a surprise at all. Went number 1.
Now to Miami. So what are the Dolphins going to do?
No, not in Miami. He went to Tennessee.
Oh, the Titans. Okay.
Yes. Number 2 was the Browns, and they traded out in a blockbuster trade with the Jaguars. The Jaguars move up to pick Travis Hunter, the wide receiver, cornerback,
Colorado.
Yes, out of Colorado. They traded their the 5th overall in this year's draft, the 36th pick, and the 4th round and a 6th round. Oh my gosh!
So they are all in on Travis Hunter.
They love that,
is Cleveland,
dude.
And you know Cleveland has made such poor decisions with their quarterbacks lately.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of years, Deshaun Watson being the primary example of extreme waste of talent on his part, which is unfortunate because he's such a talented young man making such poor life choices that have.
He was right there with Mahomes at one point.
Yes.
When they were drafted the very first year. No, everybody wanted.
I was mad when the Browns ended up sneaking in right in front of the Cardinals to take him. I thought he would have been great for us, but instead. So who went number 3?
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, keep going.
Number 3. Okay.
As Aiden Barrett comes to the. I'm sorry, no, that's Cole. Cole Isaacson, the lefty, at the plate. It's not Aiden, because Aiden would have his hot pink batting gloves on. Sounds like the ice cream man is in the vicinity here. Should we see if we can flag him down? Bring him out to the field. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. How about some ice cream from the ice cream man? Coming through the neighborhood here. There is a residential neighborhood right next to the school.
Number 3, the Giants picked. Oh, golly. Wow. This is so far behind. Let's tell Sporting News that they need to get their stuff. They're already on the 9th pick, and Sporting News doesn't know. So let's move on to NFLDraft.com. They say.
Pitching from the stretch is number 20, Gonzalez. Cole watches that go low. 1-0. He's the leadoff hitter for Buena. Here in the top of the 5th and the top of the 4th, Buena put across 8 runs. You're seeing that score, 8-3, that Dan has so graciously put on the screen in front of you. And that, all 8 runs came in the 4th inning. Wind really picking up, whipping across the field now from kind of swirling, actually.
The Giants, it doesn't say who they picked, but they say the next team is on the clock right now. So the Giants were trying to reacquire another first-round draft pick because they're desperate. They don't have a lot of good players on that team.
That goes in the dirt. And it's 4-0. Or 4 straight pitches, a walk. Cole hustles down to first base. Had that ball gotten much further behind the catcher, he could have made the round and gone to second.
I was wondering about that.
You can. Yeah, you can.
Wow.
If the ball gets away, it's fair game. As long as you touch first base, go into second.
Yeah, I'm not a baseball player, so all of this is, I'm a cameraman, football player. So all of this is new to me.
Well, no outs. The leadoff runner aboard on a walk puts Kai Erlmeyer at the plate. So, in theory, if Buena gets 5 runs and then gets through the bottom of the 5th, this game will be wrapped in 5 like it was 48 hours ago when Buena won 11-0. And they will have their 20th win of the season. And trying to throw back over to first base. They're saying he got him. I don't know where that throw was. He never, according to Ryan Haymore, the first base coach, saying he never touched him. But they're going to call him out. Coach Tommy going to come over and have a chat with that first base umpire. That throw was a little wild, but they're going to wait on first base to see if it will be an out. They're marking it out on. They're marking an out on the scoreboard, but not just yet, as they're going to take a double look at this. But I don't know how the home plate umpire could overrule what the fielding umpire said on that play, specifically because home plate umpire couldn't see what was going on. The sun is in his face. The sun, the way it's setting right now, is in the batter's face and in the face. They're going to call it out. So, 1 down. The home plate umpire cannot overrule, or was not able to overrule in that situation. Again, this is the tough part about having only 2 umpires on the field. Hopefully during the playoffs, they will have it stacked with 3, if not 4, umpires, 1 behind the plate and 3 in the field. The more eyes, the better, especially in the playoffs when every pitch, every out counts. That ball goes wide. 2 balls, 1 strike with 1 down, nobody on to Kai Erlmeyer at the plate for Buena. So the Browns all in on Travis Hunter. Interesting.
Oh, man.
Literally all in.
Yeah. Well, they get an all-star at 2 positions, possibly,
right,
with 1 pick.
Now Deion Sanders has to be awful proud.
Oh, yeah.
Watching, now it's just a waiting game to see when Shador will go. If he is a first-rounder or ends up going tomorrow. That is ball 4.
The thing to think about is these multi-position players now. And this is totally, it's not completely new. Back in the day, it used to happen. But now, you're getting a guy that could be an all-star at receiver and at corner. The most recent player that was anything like this was Sammy Baugh. Can you imagine a player from the 30s who was an all-pro safety, an all-pro punter, and an all-pro quarterback, playing 3 different positions, all pro at all 3 in the same season? That's the real Triple Crown. That'd be like, I don't know, leading the league in home runs. I don't know.
Batting average, RBI.
Yeah.
So Kai Erlmeyer will come out. The pinch runner, Skylar Leone, comes into first. The bunt shown and a strike called to Angel Oliveros at the plate, number 10. 0-1. Buena leads by 5 here in the 5th. That pitch, my gosh. The catcher, both catchers have done a fantastic job keeping that ball in front of them, because any sort of wild pitch or pass ball is going to go a mile and will advance anyone on base, especially someone with lightning speed like Skylar Leone.
So the Patriots on the clock right now. The Giants picked the defensive end Abdul Carter in the NFL draft, the number 3 overall pick.
And where's Carter from? What school?
Penn State. He's kind of an edge outside linebacker. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Derek Thomas, a little bit of Micah Parsons. Really quick.
That's a lethal combination there. You're talking about the GOAT and a future GOAT.
Yeah, just super fast off the edge. That's what they're expecting.
Just game wreckers.
Yeah.
Skyler dives back into first base, is safe.
If anybody can make it home from first, it's Skyler.
Yeah, on a base hit.
Yeah.
Skyler could score.
Yeah, this is scoring position for Skyler.
He goes, and that ball is popped up foul and shading all the way out of play. Skyler will return to first base. before the ball even lands because he's that fast. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down, 1 on for Buena here in the top of the 5th. They lead by 5. Jeff Davenport, John Berger, Dan the Man. Hanging out with you here. Throw back over is high. Skyler gets back in there, safe. Great game for Buena as they were down 3-0 and responded in a massive way, scoring 8 runs, 4 of them off of the grand slam over the fence, grand slam home run by Bryson Haymore. Absolutely outstanding to see our young student athletes from Buena High School succeeding at the highest level. Remember, this is Thursday. They had class this morning. They had pop quizzes. They had homework. They had tests. And guess what? Tomorrow's Friday. They got pop quizzes. They got tests. John got a piece of it coming right at us here. I was going to block it with the umbrella.
Oh, I was going to try and catch it in my teeth. That would have been fun.
They found a scuff on it, so they're going to get rid of that ball. Runner goes, and that is popped up. That looks like it might stay in play. The catcher goes over trying to make the play, and he does for the second out of this inning. A pop-up straight in the air to the catcher. That will bring up the corn-fed Colossus himself, the big 6'4", 240-pound Hunter Herbert, to the plate for Buena.
Look how much taller he is than that catcher. That guy's standing up straight, both of them.
So 2 down, 1 on. 5-run lead for Buena here. 5:35 p.m. in Tucson, Arizona at Flowing Wells High School. Home of the Caballeros. Having a difficult season, a tough season for them. 8-17-1. Buena on the verge of history, getting their 20th win of the season. That's why we're here, to support the Colts and see history in the making. Where you see history, you've seen history so many times. If you're a fan of Cool FM, you've seen the very first ever girls flag football game broadcasted. You have seen the very first ever, you've seen no-hitters. You've seen all sorts of great stuff on this platform, and it's all because of our sponsors that you see in the post description and in the Chiron that Dan the Man is running.
Yeah, we've seen championships from
we have. We've
Cochise
seen
College.
Championship games.
Yep.
We've seen division
Football.
championships.
He doesn't know where
Skyler
the
goes
ball's
on the
at.
drop ball. So Skyler is on second base now with 2 outs, runner in scoring position for Hunter Herbert at the plate. We've seen state champions.
Yep.
We've seen state championship games.
Mm-hmm.
And we are seeing history yet again today if Buena is able to hold on to this 5-run lead here in the top of the 5th for the rest of this game. That ball goes outside, evens the count. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Runner on second here in the 5th. We will see win number 20. Absolutely remarkable. Leave some love in the live chat for Buena. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Herbert. Buena will leave 1 on. Not get any across the plate here in the top of the 5th. We head to the bottom of the 5th, but Buena still leads by 5. It's 8-3 Colts. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm sorry for the umbrella getting in the way there. Just trying to block the sun, keeping it blocked. So that way we can keep the phone as cool as possible on this very warm day here in Tucson, Arizona at Flowing Wells High School as Dan the Man runs all of those amazing sponsors like BARNETT'S Towing and PROPANE, serving our community, not just in Sierra Vista, but here in Tucson since 1963. Thank you to all the sponsors who, again, make this coverage possible. We're grateful for each and every one of them. You can see them all in the post description, like Grasshopper Landscaping, where you will always find quality from the ground up from Damon, Marie, the entire Trejo family and team at Grasshopper Landscaping. Still 87 degrees according to the iPhone. What's the latest update on the draft, John?
Oh, so Abdul Carter goes at number 3. We're still waiting on number 4 because there's 15 minutes between picks. You did get a little bit of an order from Costco from Leah. So
Oh, okay.
you eat the food from Costco also.
Oh, see.
She's giving you a hard time. That's great.
That's all right. Good to have my wife in the live chat.
Dennis Baker, way to go, Colts. Absolutely. Thank you.
Number 32, the top of the order, comes to the plate for Flowing Wells. Padilla gets a sharp shot that will go to Cushman right through his legs into left field. A leadoff error as that ball goes through the legs of Cushman. He normally makes those plays, scoops it up, throws over to big old Hunter Herbert there at first to get the out. So an error puts the leadoff hitter on for Flowing Wells. Brings up number 2, Vanderliski.
I've never seen him have a mistake, honestly.
That's true. I don't know if we've seen him make an error. Vanderliski showing bunt, pulls back, and that will be a called strike, 0-1. Steps off. That was a good call by the pitching coach in the Buena dugout. Again, Buena's getting just, there's that sun is just beating down on them. You throw over to first. Hunter grabs that ball. Good. 0-1. That goes in the dirt and gets past the catcher, and the runner will hold at second, thankfully. Fortunately.
Yeah.
So wild pitch evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike, and puts a runner in scoring position for Flowing Wells. Caballeros trying to cut the lead in half with a single. Beautiful breaking pitch. My goodness. Kai's ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Angel.
Thank you again for all the love in the live chat. Thank you for all the comments. John's doing his best to keep track of those. And that's going to be a called strike 3. That strikeout brought to you by the MORSE Automotive Group, Sierra Vista and Cochise County, backed by Morse.
Whoever's running the scoreboard's doing an excellent job.
They
I
are.
would like to go over and say thank you. I hope they know they're doing a better job than anybody we've seen so far.
Any team that we've traveled to. Better than Buena's home scoreboard operator at times.
Yeah.
And that is fouled.
I don't think the young lady at Buena knows. I mean, she does a great job, but it's you know,
They're all doing their best. You know, I mean,
but
at
if
the end
you
of the day,
know the game, then it's a lot easier. You know,
yeah, everybody's doing their best.
absolutely.
It's a 0-1 count now with 1 down, runner on second. Beautiful fastball by Kai. That'll advance the runner on the ground out to second, 2 down. So, a run for Flowing Wells, 90 feet away, but 2 outs as number 21 comes to the plate. That is McLennan, I believe. This is a handwritten lineup that I'm trying to read here. Beautiful pitch. Kai is moving that ball in the beautiful right place, getting the ground balls that you want to get. As a pitcher, you want to be a ground ball pitcher if they get a hold of it. That ball's high. Evens a count, 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner on third for Flowing Wells. They're down by 5 here in the 5th. And that is off the fist, foul, out of play.
Ooh.
You think I hit a car?
Oh, that sounded like glass.
We'll find out when we walk by there after.
Oh, no.
As we, yeah, I know. That's hopefully they have good insurance.
Yeah.
That's why we parked not there.
No, we parked about twice as far away.
Yeah, easily. I don't even think Barry Bonds could swing it and hit it to where our car is. But I do think Brandon Brown could hit it.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. That strikeout retires the side. And it's brought to you by SSVEC, Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, serving our community. Flowing well, strands a runner at third. No one gets across. Buena still leads by 5 as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors who make this coverage possible. You can see them all in the post description and all across the Chiron as Dan the Man is flashing them up on the screen. We thank each and every one of them for making this coverage possible. Couldn't do it without them. And if you have a business in and around the Sierra Vista area and would like to help do some advertising, help the Colts during their playoff run as they're on the verge of their 20th win of the season, they could get it here live. Again, watching history unfold on Cool FM Live. This is the place to see it, and the place to live it is right here. And your business needs to be advertising right here on the award-winning Cool FM Sports. Why do I call it award-winning? Well, the very first season that Todd and I were covering games, like 3 years ago, we ended up calling a game in Benson. And we were kind of in the position where we are now, except we were closer and over the fence. We had we weren't on the field, but we were over the fence, closer toward home plate. And the umpire ended up coming up behind me in between one of the innings as I was turning around, and Todd had the camera on me, and the umpire came over in between one of the innings while I was doing the spot break, talking about the different advertisers, and the umpire goes, I thought he was going to say, "Hey, you're being too loud." Instead, the umpire taps me on the shoulder and says, "Hey, you're doing a great job. You deserve a game ball." And he actually gave me a game ball, which was very sweet. I still have that ball in my office today. I will take that wherever I go, whenever I go, and that is why we are the award-winning Cool FM Sports for many, many years. And I count that as winning an award. Is it like an Emmy? No. Is it like a Grammy? No. Is it like a Tony or an Oscar? No. It's way better.
I'd much prefer that.
Skylar Leone leading off here in the top of the 6th for Buena. Checks his swing on the inside pitch, 1-0. But again, this coverage can only happen as that ball goes high up in the air. Second baseman shading right there on the fringe of the outfield makes the catch, 1 down. Angel Oliveras warming up in the bullpen. Not sure if we'll see him in the bottom of the 6th. That will bring up the top of the order. Great Nate at the plate. Sun continues to set. He drives one deep into right center field. Center fielder going back and backing up and makes the catch. There have been a lot of fly ball outs like that Buena has driven into the outfield that has just been in the right spot for these outfielders. The outfielders here at Flowing Wells have made some great plays today. I don't want to take that away from them, but I do want to so that it's a compliment to the outfield, knowing that they've tracked these balls down. But there have been some great smashes to the outfield as Austin Cushman comes to the plate for the Colts. 2 down, nobody on. Buena leads by 5. That pitch goes outside, 2-0. It is number 20, Gonzalez, still on the mound for Flowing Wells. This is the final game for both of these teams. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 1 strike on the breaking pitch by Gonzalez. Buena looking to get elusive win number 20 to finish off their season. Woo! That is a high fly ball going to left field. Left fielder makes the call, shades over, and gets the catch and retires the side. 1, 2, 3. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th here at Flowing Wells High School. So Coach Tommy asked Angel, "Are you ready?" And Angel said, "Yes, I feel good." So Angel Oliveras will come to the mound for Buena here in the top of the 6th inning. The 3rd pitcher for Buena today. We'll see how he is able to do as he faces, I believe, the middle of the order for Flowing Wells.
Austin moved in the center, it looks like. Oh, maybe right. Sorry.
Nope, Austin staying a short. So Cole going around. He's heading back to right field. And I believe Kai is going to head to center field. So, the Buena team warming up in the fields as Dan the Man is showing us some of our sponsors for today's coverage live at Flowing Wells High School on the northwest side of Tucson, Arizona. John, what's the latest draft updates, my friend?
LSU. So the New England Patriots at number 4 take offensive tackle, the first offensive lineman, Will Campbell from LSU. The Browns.
Is he a guard or a tackle?
He is a tackle.
Okay.
The Browns moved down from number 2 to number 5, as we discussed earlier, to take the first defensive tackle, Mason Graham from Michigan.
So the Browns got 2 picks then.
Yeah, well, so they end up getting an extra second-round pick on top of this one. So, yes, they moved.
Well, because the Browns had the number 2 pick.
They had the number 2 pick, and they moved up from the end of the third round into the second round. So they get an extra.
So again, the Browns going all in. I mean,
yeah.
Again, this is.
And they don't move down that far, so
No.
they end up getting a haul. So they get their defensive tackle. Now, this is the thing: is the Raiders get exactly who we expected to get in Ashton Genty
From
the Boise State, the running back. He's he had the best numbers since Barry Sanders.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's extra shout outs to us.
Oh yeah, thank you. Of course, it's all of our fantastic sponsors, including Sierra Toyota. Thank you so much, Sierra Toyota, for jumping in, being a part of our sports sponsor.
Yeah, you and I get to go check them out all the time. They're great folks.
I have purchased many a car from Sierra Toyota. I'd say my last 8 vehicles have come from that dealership.
My parents' last vehicle came from there, and they absolutely love it there. Get a nice Highlander.
Old strike, 0-2. Angel ahead in the count. That's a car we drive to get to all these games.
Yep.
That RAV4, that's a sharp shot. Over to Austin, slides, throws over to first base. Oh, my goodness. If Hunter Herbert was able to collect that ball, would have been unbelievable play by Cushman. Instead, the ball gets past him and puts the leadoff hitter on second base. Mendevi coming to the plate for Flowing Wells, as they have a runner on second. Runner in scoring position. And Tommy coming out already just to have a chat. I mean, he was ahead in the count, 0-2. It was a great sliding play by Cushman to keep that ball from going into left field. But unfortunately, the throw a little bit errant. And Hunter Herbert not able to come up with it. That would have been a great snag over at first base for an out. But was not meant to be. So, Caballeros have a runner on second. No outs. Top of the 6th. They're down by 5. As they're making some adjustments to the outfield.
Yeah, we're already in the 6th inning. The sun hasn't even gone down yet.
No, it's got a ways to go. Still 87 degrees according to the iWatch. And that is a shot down third, foul. Going by Bryson.
I got it.
Coach Fernandez calling the ball. He's going to hustle to go get it. So runner on second, no outs. Flowing Wells down by 5 here in the 6th. Good set, looking off the runner. And there's another shot. Bryson gets it, scoops, throws over to first for the force out. 1 down, advances the runner on what's going to be counted as a sacrifice. So, with 1 out, Flowing Wells has a runner 90 feet. away to cut this lead in half. Number 2, Kihu comes to the plate for the Caballeros. High pitch. Boy, that had some heat on it. Rifling it in there. 1-0, 1 down. Runner on third. Swing and a miss. We did see this Caballeros team put up 3 runs in the bottom of the third. Buena came up in the top of the fourth and put up the 8 that you see on the screen in front of you. That's a high chopper, and it will be foul, called foul.
Hey, way to follow through, attaboy. Good job.
But good job by Bryson to make the throw anyway. Just to stay warm there in the field. Would have gotten him out, but instead the runner will go back to third base. But a 2-strike count. Angel ahead in the count. Jeff Davenport, John Berger, Dan the Man. Here at Flowing Wells High School. Buena on the verge of their 20th win of the season. In this final game of the regular season. My goodness gracious, a little bit outside. Evens the count 2-2. Thank you guys so much for watching. As we're coming up to the top of the 6 o'clock hour here in the 6th inning. That is a pop foul going out of play off the first base side. They will throw the ball back in to Angel. 2-2, 1 down, runner on third. The breeze is let up, and you can really feel the heat coming across. And it has got to be boiling in that Buena dugout. That is going to be high and runs the count full on the fastball from Olivares. From the stretch, full count. And that goes inside for ball 4. Runners on the corners for Flowing Wells here in the bottom of the 6th. It doesn't seem like they're going to go away quietly. Only 1 out. So we've seen Buena get a double play. They could really use one right now as number 17 comes to the plate. Soto at the plate. Wind picks up again, blowing from right field toward the third base line. Not holding the runner on third, but holding the runner on first. They fake the throw to third, look the runner back to first. With only 1 out. Angel from the stretch. Bunt being shown. They decide not to make the throw down to second, so it'll be a stolen base. 2 in scoring position for Flowing Wells. The force double play is out of the picture with only 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Soto at the plate for Flowing Wells. 2 runners in scoring position. A base hit starts to cut into this lead. And that is a shot in the air to Skylar Leon. They try to throw back to third. We got to get out of the way. Got to get out of the way. As we get out of the way, my goodness, the first time that play came at us, a wild throw, and they're going to call interference. What are they calling?
On us?
So the runner on third will go back. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do here. But that ball ended up hitting us, hitting our bag over
Tripod,
here. Yeah, hitting the tripod. But that errant throw to third got by Bryson, and that's why we had to get out of the way as it was coming at us. So the runner will go back. It'll be That throw will cut the lead in half, 8-4. But there's still a runner on third, but there are 2 outs now. Number 28, Murillo, coming into the batter's box for Flowing Wells. 1 run across. That fastball. Angel's been throwing that thing high.
Hard.
Yeah, serious smoke. But way upstairs. 1-0, 2 down, runner on third. And that's going to be a called strike. Beautiful breaking pitch there. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. So Skyler caught that ball in the air and tried to get the force out at third. But that ball ended up getting by Bryson and hitting us, hitting the tripod here. As we're standing on the field. Luckily, they didn't let the runner advance from second all the way around. Keeping the score at 8-4 with 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Oliveira sets in the pitch. And that's going to be a grounder to Leon. Scoops it up. Throws over to first base for the force out. And that gets Buena out of the inning, but not before. Flowing Wells puts 1 on across the plate, up on the board, cutting the lead in half. It's 8-4 as we head to the final inning here tonight at Flowing Wells High School in Tucson, Arizona. Thank you to all of our sponsors like Sierra Toyota. In Sierra Vista, they're going to be a huge part of this big thing coming up called the Doggo Lotto. Learn more at coolfmonline.com/Doggo Lotto, I believe is the website, or Dan can put that in the live chat if you'd like to check it out and be a part of that. This is going to be something that is revolutionary yet again. Groundbreaking yet again by Cool FM and the mind of Dan the Man. Something that he's had in the works in his brain for the better part of a decade, coming to fruition. And who is going to be coming to the plate to lead off the 7th inning? That is the man who hit the grand salami. Bryson Haymore will come into the batter's box to start the top of the 7th inning with his team leading by 4, which are the 4 that he drove in himself.
Austin.
As you see Buena making some moves and shuffling around. Looks like Cushman's going to be going to the bullpen to warm up and possibly come in to close this game out and try to get the save opportunity. Unless Buena scores another run and they're up by 5. You can't get a save if you lead by 5. Saves only come with a lead of 4 or less. Big bat. Bryson Haymore, a fantastic display of strength that we saw earlier in this game, hitting a grand slam over the fence about 370 feet, maybe a little more. That was part of that 8-run 4th inning that Buena had. After going down 3-0 in the bottom of the 3rd, they responded with 8 in the top of the 4th. This explosive nature of this team that we've seen all season long. Even in the 1 defeat that we've seen in the last month, the 1 loss they've had in the last 30-plus days, they were still within 2 runs coming back, scoring 6 runs in the bottom of the 7th.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 runs in the bottom of the 7th. And that is a called strike on the outside part of the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. That's all right. I'd rather it hit my leg than the tripod. Knocked my phone over. That's my phone. That's not the one that Todd paid for.
True.
3 balls, 1 strike to Bryson. Boy, you almost think of just giving him an intentional walk and not letting him do anything. No. He pops one high in the air, shallow center field. Second baseman making the call, goes back and makes the catch. 1 down here in the top of the 7th. Downtown Brandon Brown coming to the plate.
I like to call him Big Shot Brandon. That guy, I'm telling you.
The moonshot monster.
Yeah, he sure
He
is.
can hit that thing a mile.
I guess when we stand out here, we have to.
Oh, we're
expect it.
exposed.
Yeah.
We're exposed for sure.
You know
One
that-
ball, no strikes to
Yeah.
Brandon.
The one game where Kova came down, they were on the field. I was like, oh, well, we could do that. They got a better camera. Nobody hit them.
Who did?
When Kova was on the field 3 games ago.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, they had the cameraman on the first base line. We were on the.
Oh, KOLD, you're talking. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
KOLD,
Yeah.
They were on the third base, and we were on
Channel
first base.
13.
Oh, is that what it was?
But he was way off. I mean, he was like
Yeah.
much further back than as far as further toward left field,
Right.
further down the line. My tripod's already taken one hit here. The back of my leg taking another.
I know, man.
And there goes a ball. Got to get that. Make sure the umpire doesn't see that. Three and one pitch goes. Gets called a ball. So
This is how it
one
starts.
out, one on. Exactly.
All Buena needs to do is put up. Golly.
6 more runs.
Yeah, six.
This
Well,
game.
it's not like they couldn't do it though. We've seen them. You know,
But they got to
make
get through. But
comeback.
they got to get through the bottom of the inning, though.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
so even if
There
they
will be a
put up
bottom
all
of the
those
7th.
runs,
Yeah.
Okay. Even if they put up 20, we still got to finish.
Yep. Still got to get through this game now that we are in the 7th inning. Just past the top of the 6 o'clock hour in Tucson, Arizona. The award-winning Cool FM Sports, Jeff Davenport, John Berger, Dan the Man, running the Chiron. Hanging out with you here at Flowing Wells High School on the northwest side of Tucson, Arizona. Cole shows bunt, and that ball gets past the catcher. Will advance the runner to second base. Brandon Brown second, looks up at third, will hold there.
There's so much space behind home plate that if I rotate too far, I'm not seeing the rest of the field.
No, you can't. It's insane how much space is back there. If that ball gets past the catcher, it is a free-for-all for anybody on board. A bunt that goes high but gets down, and Brandon does not advance. He stayed where he was. I'm not sure if somebody missed a call there, and they weren't sure if they were supposed to advance Brandon on that, but nonetheless, there's 2 down. Brandon still in scoring position at second.
It looked like it could have been caught. I think that might have been what the thinking was because it popped up a little bit and looked like the pitcher, if he had hustled, I think he could have got to it. Oh, you're all good.
Okay, just go get the game finished, man. Just wrap this sucker up.
Want some ice?
Put a bow on. I might, yeah. No, I'm kidding. Can you just give me a leg rub? Can you just rub my leg, Coach? Coach? Coach?
Someone just rubbed my leg.
Coach, can you just rub my leg? Yeah, I got nailed, right? Drilled. That was a fastball coming in hot.
It's in the calf?
Oh my goodness! That ball thrown behind. Great reaction there by Kai in the batter's box. And Coach making fun of him as he's doing a dance there. These are the smiles that you can have when you're ahead by 4 in the top of the 7th. Runner on second, 2 down.
Brandon looks like he
And
might
that goes in the dirt. It is 2 on for Buena with 2 outs. I'll bring up number 23, Omar Rodriguez. A senior. See, I saw him a little bit in the last game as it was senior night at Buena. All the seniors got to start, including him. So Omar, with 2 down and 2 on, has a chance to do some more good. He got a couple of base hits, I believe, in the last game, 48 hours ago. As Buena won 11-0. Watches that one go inside, ball 1.
Update on the NFL draft. Offensive tackle from Missouri goes to the Jets. And the kid from Arizona, McMillan, T-Mac, goes to, what team is that? The Carolina Panthers at number 8. Top 10 pick out of Arizona.
Well, bear down.
Oh, man, Arizona, I mean, their sports across the board are getting better all the time. It's awesome.
That ball goes inside. 3 balls, no strikes. The crowd letting the home plate umpire hear it. A walk will load the bases with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Omar keeping an eye on it. And that goes in the dirt. It is a walk.
Oh, wow.
Bases are loaded. Hunter Herbert, the corn-fed Colossus, at the plate for Buena.
Oh, man. Imagine putting up 4 right here. That'd be amazing.
Or just a couple extra insurance runs before heading to the bottom of the 7th to wind this thing up, wrap it up, put a bow on it, and get win number 20. A historic night for Buena. You are looking at it live, happening here at Flowing Wells High School on Cool FM Live. Fouled away.
He timed it so well.
So Hunter behind the count, 0-2. Sharp grounder to third, and he scoops it up, walks over to get the force out. Buena will leave 3 aboard. They left quite a few on the bases, but have cleared enough to keep the score at 8-4 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Buena High School, 3 outs away from getting their 20th win of the season as they send number 21, Austin Cushman, to the mound to put a bow on this game and history in the books.
Jared and I got to interview him at the very beginning of the season. He's such a smart young man. He's going to be a lawyer. We're like, hey, don't you want to play at the next level? You're really good. Nope, he wants to be a lawyer. Smart kid, great athlete. We like talking to him. So we're looking forward to him excelling on the field, especially in the playoffs.
Well, let's just hope his only wild pitch was the one that drilled the back of my leg while he was in the bullpen.
That was on purpose. That wasn't wild.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, man, will that guy ever just shut up? The answer is no. My wife can attest to that. Or anyone who's ever come to Native Game Night or High Heat Trivia Night.
Ooh, a vehicle collided with a large boulder at the corner of Colombo and Avenida
A
El
boulder?
Rancho. Yeah.
What?
Well, it's more like he drove into it, but I can't. It doesn't look like that gentleman's on the road.
No.
Collided with a large boulder at the corner, resulting in the boulder being pushed partially through the wall of a nearby residence.
I would
Fortunately,
say
no injuries.
I would say you would. I almost couldn't see it, officer.
I love local news, man. The stuff we hear about and the stuff we find out, it's like,
Well, Sierra Vista's crazy. There's crazy people there, and I'm one of them, but not kind of crazy, thankfully. Everybody make sure you drive safe. I mean, I say it all the time. Drive safe as you're going around town. Even, they say most accidents happen within 5 miles of your home, and that's when you're the most susceptible to getting into an accident. And there's nothing with, very few things that are over 5 miles away from anybody in Sierra Vista. So just keep an eye on the road. Beautiful fastball strike. First pitch from Austin Cushman. No balls, 1 strike to number 32. Padilla back to the top of the order for Flowing Wells. That's going to be a called strike as you hear the crowd and the players over on the other side of the dugout.
He'd hung himself up on that on the fence. I think he was
leaning
stuck
over
there.
And that's going to be a called strike. 3 pitches, 1 down. Buena, 2 outs away from history. They are already the 5A Southern champs. Now it comes down to getting the 20th win of the regular season. Start to leave some love in the live chat for your Buena Fighting Colts.
Yeah, let us know if you're going to come out and see some of these playoff games.
Vanderliski, number 12, at the plate for Flowing Wells. They're down 8-4.
High school sports are so much better than college now that college students are getting paid. This is where it's at.
That is going to be a foul ball. So Brandon's back at third. They shifted Bryson over to short as Austin is on the mound. Skyler still at second base. Hunter over at first.
Angel!
Looks like Angel is back in center.
Are those pieces that...
Swing and a miss.
Wow.
That strikeout brought to you by Sierra Toyota.
I thought those were dirt clods, but those are birds in the field. Just
okay.
hanging out in front of center field right there.
Well, either way, Flowing Wells is down to their final out in the form of number 3, Rios Arroyo. A ground ball to Brandon at third called foul.
He had me fooled.
Two strikes away from history. You're watching it unfold on Cool FM Live. Called strike on the inside part of the plate. Flowing Wells down to their final strike. Buena, 1 strike away from win number 20. The pitch. Ground ball to short. Bryson gets it. Throws over to Hunter, and it is 20 wins for Buena. History has been made here at Flowing Wells tonight as our Fighting Colts get their 20th win of the regular season, and the save goes to Cushman. Buena finishes the year 20-6, 8-1. Have won 13 of their last 14 games as they will head to the playoffs. This regular season has come to an end, and it is postseason time. Postseason mentality. All thanks to that top of the fourth 8-run inning that was capped by a grand slam by our player of the game, Bryson Haymore. Gets player of the game honors here today at Flowing Wells, as Buena will finish their season with their 20th win. And what would Coach Tommy say about that? He would say, we're not done yet.
Yep.
That's exactly what he would say. Congratulations to the Colts, and the Caballeros finished their year at 8-18, 2-7 in the 5A Southern. A tough season for them. Their season comes to an end, but the Buena Colts have wrapped it up. 20 wins for, we'll say, the first time in any history, much less recent history, of Buena High School that we could find. Congratulations to the Colts. As we wrap up our broadcast here, leave some love in the live chat. Use the hashtag 20 or say congratulations on the 20th win in the live chat for the Colts. On behalf of Dan the Man back in the studio and John Berger here at Flowing Wells High School, Jeff Davenport thanking all of our sponsors, thanking Todd Ryan, and most of all, thanking you, the Cool F Empire, for tuning in and watching win number 20. Again, if your business wants to be a part of sponsoring Buena baseball in the playoffs, send a DM. Get in touch with Todd Ryan. Let's make it happen. Let's support the Colts all the way as they start their 2 wins into their next 11-game win streak that will make them state champs. Jeff Davenport signing off from Flowing Wells High School. Time to head to Costco, Leah. I know. Have a great night, everybody. Drive safe, and we'll see you in the playoffs.